Hello everyone, how are you all? I hope you all are fine. Today we are going to proceed with the part 3 of our previous chapter, that is transportation in animals and humans. This is going to be our final part of this chapter, and from here we are going to end the chapter, and then we will going to proceed with the next chapter. Okay. So let's see what we are going to study in this part. In this part, we are going to study about the human excretory system. Let us see what is it. All right, as you can see on the screen, there is numerous amount of toxic which is present in our intestine, right? Likewise, we have studied about the various transportation system till now and oxygen transportation, right? Via blood, है ना? And we call that system as circulation system. But do you remember that I have told you that blood acts as transport vehicle which transport the nutrients, oxygen, and also the waste materials, okay, which are present in our body. But where do they come from? And what is the transportation system of waste materials called in our body? So as you know that our body performs various metabolic activities, right? Metabolic activities. Such as respiratory activity, circulatory activity, okay? Various blood cells are involved in these activities, in these metabolic activities. So it is obvious that numerous amount of metabolic waste is also being accumulated in our body, right? This metabolic waste is none other than but the nitrogenous waste, okay? Nitrogenous waste, which is toxic for our body, right? And also might provide our body in a harmful situations, in conditions which is very much dangerous and toxic for our body. So these metabolic waste need to be exit out from our body. And that is why the process where the involvement of exiting of various kind of nitrogenous waste or metabolic waste from our body takes place, that system, that transportation system is known as excretory system. Okay, excretory system. We are going to study about this excretory system in this presentation. Okay, so let us study now. So now we will know what is the excretion process is all about. Okay, so as we all know, blood is transporting the nutrients and oxygen. Likewise, these RBCs are also consist of various amount of these. What are these? The toxic waste from our body that I have told you, the nitrogenous waste, the metabolic waste. Okay. So this waste is carried by the RBCs, the red blood cells. Okay. So now when the blood transport these waste, they get transported or accumulated. Accumulated means इकट्ठा हो जाना. कहाँ पे इकट्ठे हो जाते हैं? In a bean-shaped organ which is known as kidney. Okay, the kidney, the vital component which helps in the excretion process in our human body. This is spleen. spleen. This is also an organ which helps in filtering out the toxic waste from our human body. Okay, now let us see how does this work. As you all can see on the screen, there is a human body in which the whole excretory system is being depicted, and a human body where it signifies the location of the kidney. The kidney is present at the back of our body near to the abdomen. Okay, so it is always present in pair. Okay, students, so these two parts are the kidney. Okay, this organ is the kidney, as we have studied now that they come as a pair, and these are bean shaped. Okay, in the form of bean shaped, right? So here all the waste materials get accumulated, okay, which is come by the blood cells, which is transported by the RBCs. Okay, now this, as you can see here, is the ureter. These tubes you can see, this is ureter. What does this do? These tubes transport all the urine from the kidneys to the bladder. What happens? All the waste materials is being filtered out by the kidneys. There are numerous amount of filtrations which are present inside the kidneys, and these filtrations are known as nephrons. Okay, nephrons, which work in filtering out all the waste material from our body. And these nephrons turn the waste material into what? What is the human waste which is present in our body? Is called. It is urea and urine. Okay. These nephrons convert the waste material into urea and urine. And this urine is then transported into ureters. You can see these tubes. These are none other than but ureters. And then there comes the bladder. Okay. What does the bladder do? This is a hollow muscular organ, and it stores the urine until it is ready to be excreted. So the feeling which you get in the morning to exit out all the waste is coming through the bladder. Okay, exit out the waste. When the bladder is fully completed, fully filled with the waste material, then it give message to the brain that it is time to exit out. That feeling to exit out the waste comes from this bladder. And then comes the urethra. It's a small opening, tube like opening, from where all the urea and urine get out from our body. Okay, so this is all about the parts of the excretory system, which comprise of kidney, ureterus, bladder, urethra. Okay, see more about the kidneys. What are kidneys? The kidneys are two bean-shaped organs, each about the size of a fist. Their main job is to cleanse the blood of toxins and transform the waste into urine. As I've told you already, that kidneys have numerous amount of filtration, which are known as nephrons, which helps in cleaning the toxin, okay, cleaning the waste material and converted them into urea and urine. Okay, every minute they are working. Okay, healthy kidneys filter about a half cup of blood every minute. Now, I told you about the bladder also. This is the organ which give you feeling when it is fully finished, when it is completely filled with the waste material, and it is ready to exit out all the waste materials, all the toxin from our body. The bladder is the organ which give you feeling to exit them out. It's a hollow organ, and it's a balloon shape that stores urine from the kidneys. Urine contains waste and extra fluid left over after the body takes what it needs from what we eat and drink. Okay, so whatever which is left out and which is toxic is all filled with the bladder. Okay, all come into the bladder. Now, there is certain topic about the kidney which I'm going to tell you. It's about the renal artery and renal vein. Okay. So what it is about the renal and how come this transportation of waste materials in kidney occurs and what goes after that. I'm going to tell you all about in this slide. Let us see what happens. There are certain arteries which are connected to the kidneys, right? And these arteries are none other than but renal artery. And renal artery is in red form. This is your renal artery. And what does it do? It carries the blood towards the kidney. Okay. And what does this renal vein do? It carries the blood, which is now blood which is free from waste to the body. Can you see? This is renal artery, which is red in color. This is renal vein, which is carries the blood with from the which is totally free from waste towards the body, and it is renal artery which is carrying the blood towards the kidney. Means this blood is toxic. Okay, and what is this? This is your urethra, the tube. Okay, this is how whole excretory system works, and here are all the nephrons which are present. Nephrons which are filtering out all the waste materials and converting them into urea and urine. Okay, there are numerous amount of nephrons. Okay. Okay. Is there only the kidneys and all these transportation system, excretory system, which is involved in transporting out all the waste materials from the body? Are there any different types of excretory products which comes out of human body? Can you guess some? Yes, as you can see on the screen, the fecal matter, okay, as I have already told you about the urea, that is fecal matter, and then the CO2 and the sweat, which comes out in the form of water from your body, right? These are all different types of excretory products which comes out from our human body in the form of gas, as you can see on the screen. Urea, this is urine, okay, the fluid which comes out, and this is what? This is CO2, the gas which comes out from the human body, and this is what? Sweat, okay, the salty water. Okay, now we're going to see what is the difference between urea and urine. Okay, let us see. So as you can see on the screen, the urea and urine. What is the differentiation between them? Urea, as I've told you, that this is nothing but the nitrogenous waste which comes out of the body, and urine is a liquid waste product which is excreted by the kidneys. Okay, so the urea is generally composed of carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, and hydrogen, because obviously it is a formation of different waste material which comes out after the metabolic activities which our body is performing. And these metabolic activities like respiratory system and the circulatory system compose of various nitrogenous waste, okay, at the end. So that nitrogen waste is nothing but urea, okay. And urine, it's a complex mixture of water, urea, creatinine, uric acid, electrolytes, and other metabolites. So sometimes majorly the question might ask you about the components of urine. So you can write this complex mixture. Just write them all as solution. So function क्या होता है यूरिया का? Removes the excess nitrogen from the body and makes less toxic form and regulates the fluid and electrolyte balance. remove करता है यूरिन हमारा. यूसेज क्या होती है, हम लोग अपने यूरिया को फर्टिलाइजर की तरह यूज कर सकते हैं, और यूरिन जनरली हेल्प्स इन डायग्नोजिंग द various diseases which might be happening in our body. Okay. Okay, so these are the different types of excretory products which takes place in humans and different animals. So in birds, it's uric acid, reptiles uric acid, the fish it's ammonia, and then earthworms you can see it comes out like urea only. So sometimes generally question may ask you about different excretory products which comes out from different humans and animals. So you can take them as your solutions. Now there is a topic which is known as dialysis. Okay, sometimes you might have heard that uski to kidney fail ho gayi, right? Sometimes there are patients where whose kidney started improper functioning. So how come their blood will be filtered if there is no kidney, if the kidneys are not working properly? So it's a great harm for the human, for the patient. So generally in medical terms, the doctor suggests them dialysis. So dialysis is nothing but the artificial kidney which is provided to the patient so that their blood is filtered out, okay, productively. So it is just the process to remove the toxins, fluid from patient's body in case of renal failure. As I've already told you, the renal means kidney. Okay, the renal means kidney. Okay, so dialysis is nothing but the here what happens. I'll tell you. So generally, what happens in the renal failure, as have I told you that what are renal? Renal means kidney only. Okay. That's why the renal arteries and renal veins I was talking about. So dialysis means artificial kidney, which is provided by this machine. Okay, this is machine, dialysis machine. So what is happening? All the work of urethra, the kidney, is done by this machine. Okay, the tubes are connected to the body of a patient, and this whole machine is working as kidney, excretory system of the human body. ओके, तो इसलिए हम बोला जाता है कि वो डायलिसिस पे बिकॉज उसकी किडनी फेल हो गई है. ओके. Okay, so now we will going to talk about the transportation in plants. So what do you think? Should transportation must take place in plants or not? And if it is taking place in plants, so what does the plant is transporting? What does it transporting? Obviously, transportation in plants must take place because plants are also living organisms, right? They must also transport the food they have, the water they take. So, all this intakes amount of products must be transported in the whole body of the plant so that they can give us the optimum amount of food that we eat, right? And they can grow also, right? So, in this slide, we are going to learn about the transportation in plants. Let us see. All right. As you have seen in this video, what is happening? The water is going upside from roots to the upper part of the plant body, that is stems, the leaves, the branches, and everywhere the plant resides. Okay. So as we all know that plants makes their own food through photosynthesis, right? So for this the plant need to have the sunlight, the water, and what? The green pigment of the leaves. All right. So here the main role of roots and stem is to transport the substances around the plant to where they are required, right? In the branches, in the stems, okay? Wherever the plants required, the roots and stem help in transporting all that water and food towards the plant body. So water and nutrients in the soil enter the plant via the roots. ये clear हो गया, right? Root से ही इसीलिए बोला जाता है कि always water the roots in order to water the whole plant. Okay? क्योंकि roots से एक suction create होता है. As we all know, when we have a straw like kind of thing, when we always have a straw for drinking, what we are creating by doing this? We are creating a suction, right? So roots and root hairs and all the parts of plants is creating a suction, and roots and the stem is helping in transporting the nutrients towards the plant body. All right. So this is one of the part of a what plant stem. Okay. So plant stem is being cut, and it's a microscopic view of a plant stem. Here you can see the vascular bundle. As you have seen in our body also, cells have got certain amounts of organelles in it. Likewise, it's the part of a stem, and it have a vascular bundle. Vascular bundle is nothing but the tissues which are present in the plant cells or plant stem. Okay, vascular bundle. So there are two types of vascular bundle which helps in transporting the nutrients, water inside the plant body. So first one is xylem. As you can see the green part. What does a xylem do? The xylem, it is a central part of vascular bundle, and it helps in transporting the water and nutrients. Okay, water and minerals, sorry. Okay. And then this is the phloem part. Phloem. The name, as the name suggests, and as it is starting from fur. So it transport the food, the nutrients in the plant body. Okay, the outer part of the vascular bundle. So xylem transports the water and mineral ions upwards from the root. Always remember the xylem always work in unidirectional form from downward to the upward. Okay. And then this phloem always transports the sucrose and amino acid, means the nutrients. Okay, the carbs, the food which is prepared by the whole plant is transported both ways, the upward ways and downward ways. Okay, so sometimes the question may ask you about differentiate between xylem and phloem. So these are the two major differences which you can write. That xylem transports what? Water and minerals, and phloem transports the nutrients. Okay, the nutrients such as sucrose, the amino acids. The xylem always work unidirectionally, but phloem works in both the forms, downwards and upwards. Okay. So there is one topic in your NCERT which is transpiration. Okay. So as the root is transporting the water upward, all amount of water is not used by the plant. Some of the water is being expelled out of the body. Okay. So this process in which the excess of water is being exit out of the plant body is known as transpiration. The loss of water, okay, from the plant body. It's sort of water vapors which occur on the surface of the leaves, okay. That is the water which is not more required by the plants, okay. So that is known as transpiration, and transpiration help in cooling the plant temperature, okay, and also responsible for water, for rain, okay, in the surroundings. Okay, so that was all about the chapter. Now we are going to discuss the major questions, or the questions which have been not discussed in the notes, the NCERT questions. Okay, so first question is match the structures. You can easily do the stomata, the synthesis of carbohydrates, obviously, and xylem, which is help in transportation of water, root hairs, which helps in what? In the absorption of water. Phloem, I have already told you, as the name suggests, transportation of food. Fill in the blanks. The blood from the heart is transported to all parts of the body by arteries, right? Hemoglobin is present in red blood cells. Arteries and veins are joined by a network called capillaries. The rhythmic expansion, that dhak 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 wali feeling jo hoti hai, is the contraction of heart, which is known as heartbeat. The main excretory product in human being is urea. Sweat contains water and salts. Kidneys eliminate the waste materials in the liquid form known as urine. Water reaches great heights in the trees because of suction pull, as I've already told you, which is known as transpiration, which is caused by transpiration. So, water, nutrients, and everything is transported by the plant to the entire body through a suction pull, which is known as transpiration. Okay. Okay, choose the correct option. In plants, water is transported through xylem. Water absorption through roots can be increased. You can increase the water absorption through roots can be increased by keeping the plant under the fan. Okay, because obviously the suction pull will accelerate at that time. Why is transport of material necessary in plant or in animal? Explain. Because regular supply of nutrients and oxygen. What will happen if there are no platelets in the blood? Blood will not clot. Okay, blood बहता ही रहेगा अगर आपको चोट लगेगी. If there is no platelets. What are stomata? Give two functions of stomata. I have already told you that these are the green pigments which are present in the leaf, and it helps in forming, and it helps in the photosynthesis, that is in the production of food. Does transpiration serve any useful function in the plants? Explain. I have told you, I have already written this as a note. I have already make this as a note. You can jot it down as a solution. So transpiration helps in lowering the temperature, as I've already told you that it helps in cooling down the plant body. It helps in draining water on higher plants, and it also causes loss of water absorbed by plants. Okay, so when there is no demand of water, so excess water just come out from the plant body, which is known as transpiration. All right. So what are the components of blood? Red blood cells, white blood cells, platelets, and plasma. These are the various components of blood, as I already told you in part 1. Okay. What makes the blood look red? The presence of hemoglobin. Describe the function of the heart. That is being discussed in the part 2. You can go and have a note of that as solution. Why is it necessary to excrete waste products? Because it will result in toxifying our body. So it is required to expel them out from our body. Draw a diagram of the human excretory system and label the various parts. I have already told you in this section. Okay, so that was all about the part 1, part 2, and part 3 of chapter 8, transportation in humans and animals. You just need to learn and keep on revising the things. Okay, and you have any sort of doubt, just comment down below. Okay, till then, I'll meet you in the next class. Till then, bye bye, take care, and keep on learning and keep on revising.